Hi, I'm Emily Louise Howard, also known as the Diggingest Girl. Let's see, I think the role of the artist um, is partly like documentarian. I think art, especially like public art, kind of takes the pulse of a community. So, like, I don't know. I think about art in a larger historical sense and how it like connects us to our past. We know a whole lot about ancient cultures because of the art, because it you know lasts. Um, so I think that the role of the artist is kind of like to illustrate history in a way, and it's nice to like be a part of that continuing conversation by taking part in a very old ancient medium.
I feel like the role of the artist is to sort of be like the last man standing. Like they are the ones that won't let things slide socially, like in terms of like um, our social politics. They are the ones that see things, see the decline, and like kind of hold strong. And the thing that other professions or like areas can learn from arts, I think one thing is just like practicing and just like doing something over and over and over. Like doctors, there's studies that show doctors that participated in art education as even young children actually are better because you want a heart surgeon that's willing to practice and practice and practice before they cut you open. And so I think that that is something that everyone could get, but then also just creative problem solving. I mean, it's just so fun to like be alone and make work and then show work and have people buy it and you live and you can live. Like it's just so amazing, so fun. And so that is really fun and validating as like a human. And then also, I like creating the work and I like choosing my own schedule. That sounds so practical, but it's true.
I do this like art fair circuit for a living, so I love that I get to be my own boss. Nobody gets to tell me what to do. Um, I get to pretty much like follow my curiosity wherever it leads, and it always leads somewhere interesting. So it's an exciting job because I feel like I'm always learning. There's always room for improvement. And at events like these, I meet a whole bunch of other artists. So I meet printmakers from all over the world on social media. So it's that part's really cool to be connected to people all over the world by a shared interest. I don't know, it's just really fun. So that's cool. What else do I like about being an artist? Well, I don't think I could be anything else. I had a dry spell for 3 years and it wasn't good. Life was not good at that point. So it's like I need art to survive. The unpredictable income. You kind of like, I guess as an exhibiting artist, you kind of have to like cobble together a living. So you try to make things work between online sales and in-person sales, licensing your artwork, trying to get illustration work, I do some mural work on the side. So you kind of have to like cobble it all together to make ends meet. So that's kind of stressful. And it's nice because I don't have any dependents. I can't imagine trying to raise a family on an inconsistent income, and older artists might have more insight on that. But I still feel kind of green, even though I've been at it for 10 years. But yeah, still a lot to learn.
Um, I think that doing my taxes was really hard. So that kind of stuff, like there's no path. There's nothing that's automatic. You know, TurboTax does not understand what it means to be an artist, and so there's every single step feels like I'm in the dark, and I'm just taking a leap of faith. And it's been working out great, but it can be scary.
All right. So this piece, which is called Ceres, I did earlier this year in February. It was a collaboration with a Cincinnati craft brewery called Listerman. Every year they do a special beer for International Women's Day, and all of their female brewers brew the beer, and then they ask four female artists from the area to design limited edition cans. So this was my design for the beer can label, and she's holding pears and blackberries because that was like part of the flavoring of the beer. It was a sour. So part of the proceeds from that limited edition beer went to Women Helping Women, which is a local domestic violence shelter. So it was really neat to be a part of that. That's the story behind this one.
This one's title is The Water's High, and it's sort of like a reference to like how much people can tolerate, like how much as a society like we're willing to allow. But then it's also sort of like anytime I'm talking about water, especially in the current climate, I could be talking about environmentalism. You know, the water's actually high. Or I could be talking about like immigration, which I think immigration was what I was thinking about. There's a series that I've done, and this is done during that time when, you know, people were like washing ashore because they could not, you know, achieve asylum. And so the water's high is sort of like in reference to like what are we allowed, like how far are we gonna like allow ourselves to get used to things, like how much are we gonna allow as a society, especially like as an American society. And so the shapes, I do see like a progression, like a swelling in the shapes, but a lot of my work is super nonverbal. I have a thought that I focus on when I'm working, but I sort of let the nonverbalness happen. Yeah. And so if at the end of a painting, when I feel like, oh, I like the way this looks, does it still resonate? Does my thought and idea still resonate with the work? If it does, then I'm like, all right, it's good, I'm done. You know, I title it something and I move on. And so that's sort of how I come to these things. And if it didn't match, I would maybe consider changing my thought and readjusting and making new work.